My name is Darlene Weeks. Today we're going to make fudge. It's a recipe of my mother's that she's made for years. She cut this recipe out of the newspaper in the early 1950s, and the title is Mamie Eisenhower's $1 Million Fudge. I have seen, you'll see many recipes that are very close, but I've never seen a fudge recipe that calls for the baker's German sweet chocolate like this one does, in addition to 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. So what you'll need: 2 tablespoons of butter, a 12-ounce package of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I used the Ghirardelli. You'll need a large can of condensed milk, a pint of marshmallow cream, 4½ cups of sugar measured out with a pinch of salt, 3 4-ounce packages of Baker's German sweet chocolate, 2 cups of chopped pecans, a large pan with high sides because you're going to be stirring this for 7½ minutes at a slow rolling boil, and a baking pan with sides. This one is 10 by 15. The recipe actually calls for 13 by 11. It makes a lot of fudge. It's very good. And also you'll need a wooden stir. This is what I always use this when I'm having to stir something for a long time. In a large bowl, I've already put in the 12 ounces of semi-sweet Ghirardelli chocolate chips. I'm going to put in the pint jar of marshmallow cream. I put it in the microwave for like 20 seconds so it would come out easier. I'd make sure I get all of it. Next, I've broken up the pieces of the of the Baker's German sweet chocolate. Missed one bar. Now, and then the butter. We'll set this bowl to the side until we cook the syrup and the condensed milk together. Alright, I have added the 4½ cups of sugar, the pinch of salt, and the large can of condensed milk. That's the only thing in this pot, and I'm going to continuously stir it until it comes to a slow rolling boil. At that point, I'm going to set a timer for 7½ minutes. And then it's done. It goes over on the chocolate, all the ingredients in the bowl that we've already shown you. This is what we call a slow rolling boil. I've gradually taken this heat from a 7 is what I started out with. I took it down to a 5, and now I've moved it down to like 2.8 on my stove. This is an electric LG glass top range. So I have my slow rolling boil that I cannot stir down. I will continuously stir this until my 7½ minutes is up, and then I'll pour it on my bowl of chocolate and marshmallow cream and butter. After all the chocolate is melted and everything is incorporated, I'll add the 2 cups of pecans and spread it on the baking sheet. This is another recipe, an old-fashioned recipe from years ago. Don't use a candy thermometer at all. It's strictly by minutes and this slow rolling boil and continuously doing it. But if you follow the instructions, if you follow my instructions, this will be perfect fudge every time that everyone will love. I have just poured my hot syrup, which was just the sugar, pinch of salt, and condensed milk. After cooking that for 7½ minutes at a slow rolling boil, continuously stirring, I've now poured it over this bowl that had the 2 chocolates, the butter, the marshmallow cream. As soon as I get a nice even color and everything's blended well, I'm going to add the pecans and pour it into my baking pan to set up. Alright, everything is blended well, melted. Now we're going to add the 2 cups of chopped pecans. Stir it real well. Doesn't that look good? I'm telling you, this is one of the richest fudges you will ever eat, and you can't eat much of it. Beautiful. Spread it out in the pan. I will not refrigerate this fudge because then it often sweats after you take it out, and that's not good. I'll let it sit for about a minimum of 6 hours. Generally, I let this sit overnight and I cut it the next day. It just seems to work better. So don't be in a hurry for fudge. Alright, now this is going to set up. I'm going to set this in the dining room. And I'm not going to cut it until tomorrow. You can cut it in as large pieces as you want. But as you can see, it has filled this 10 by 15 pan. That's the inner dimensions. Completely up. Wonderful fudge. Very rich. I know you'll enjoy this fudge, eating it as well as sharing it with friends and family. And if you subscribe to this video, then you'll get notices when other cooking videos are posted on YouTube. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.